The Joe Rogan Experience.
Well, that's a good thing. That's the more sensitive you are, though, the more you have to consider all the possibilities, and that's what could keep you up.
Right,
dumb people sleep
send
like
you
a
down
brick.
the UFO wormhole, right?
We talked about that right before the podcast. Yeah, there's this guy that's coming on. His name's Dr. Robert Schoch, and he's a geologist from Boston University. And he's worked on, there's some real scientists that believe it's entirely possible that the Sphinx and a lot of the construction in Egypt is far older than they think there is.
I know all about this.
Do you know all this?
I know
Okay.
all about this.
Do you know about Robert
the rain
Schoch?
runoff and
Yes,
how much
yes.
erosion has occurred around the
Yes.
base or around the pit
Mm-hmm.
and it absolutely couldn't have been done depending on like the way the Sphinx is built, where it's located, the siting,
Yeah.
where its level is far older. So
Yes, they think it was somewhere in the neighborhood of 9,000 plus BC, because that's when back then the Nile Valley was a rainforest and somehow or another became a desert. And this guy's, legit Boston University professor, geologist, and he's traveling all over the place. But he's here for some UFO conference, and the UFO people wanted him to mention the UFO conference, and I'm like, fucking Christ with UFO conferences. You guys don't have anything. If you had something, it would be, what are you going to get together in a fucking Marriott somewhere and show some blurry picture of some fucking hubcap that someone chucked up into the air? Like, there's nothing. Everything that they look at falls apart under scrutiny. There's like a few videos.
Okay, I'm going to push back on
Please
this.
Please do.
Let's just say, what about, do you know the Disclosure?
Yes, Disclosure Project. Yes.
Okay, there was their first press conference when they got all the, I tend to be impressed by the military, ranking members. I'm sort of like, if you were guarding missile silos and you say you saw something hover above it and deactivate, I'm probably going to check that out a little harder. And there were just so many people that stood up, in that press conference and said that they absolutely had seen evidence, met extraterrestrials, seen the crafts, like in hangars, etc.
Yep.
And to me, they didn't look like they had that much imagination. They're the kind of people that I didn't think could really. I mean, did you find that convincing at all?
No. Here's why.
No,
because
they're
the
just
guy
like a whole bunch of liars, a whole line
that's
of liars.
Stephen Greer, right? The Disclosure Project
It's
is
not
Stephen
so much
Greer's
about
thing.
him.
Yeah.
He doesn't appeal to me as much as the people that he brought on, who were mostly military guys.
Here's the
pilots.
thing about military. Anybody who's in the military is a person. If you get 100 people together, one of them's out of their fucking mind. If you get 1 million people, you've got a shit ton of people that are out of their fucking mind that are running around that want extra attention. One of the best ways to say one of the best ways to get extra attention is to say you've had some extraordinary experience that separates you from the pack. It's one of the main points of delusion that people that are really out of their fucking mind will want to point to. I see things in people. I can read auras. I can tell. I'm a psychic healer. I'm an intuitive person. They all have this thing that separates them from the herd without any work whatsoever. I feel like a lot of these people are that. They want attention. And so they tell these extraordinary stories. Now, when you said they're not creative, that's a very astute point, because they all have the same fucking story. Because it's the same story that's been going on forever. They just repeat shit they've already heard. Most of these people, I think, are full of shit. I think it is entirely possible that UFOs have been here. Entirely possible that people have seen UFOs. Entirely possible. But a lot of those people, my fucking bullshit radar just goes off. Bang, 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 bang,
Really?
bang, bang. Yeah. I've talked to too many of them. When I did that television show, Joe Rogan Questions Everything, and I met with UFO people and Bigfoot people, I was telling you before the podcast, it cured me. Because I got to be around those people for hours and just talk to them with no cameras on. I'm like, oh, you're fucking crazy, or you're delusional, or your way of looking at things is not objective, or you're talking to me because you want to convince me of something. You're not just communicating the ideas that are actually in your head. You're pitching me some sort of a speech. You're like, you've got some sort of a performance you're doing for me.
Oh,
and I smell
okay.
it. And as a performer, I smell it. I'm like, this is nonsense. You're telling me nonsense. They would tell, well, you want evidence? I'll back a truck up and show you the evidence. I'm like, where's your fucking evidence? You don't have any evidence.
You should have brought it today. I mean,
exactly.
Here's the thing. Did they seem as off-kilter in everything else they talked about?
Yes.
Okay, so they did.
Everything.
That
Relationships,
would be convincing.
jobs, they're all screwballs. They're almost all screwballs. The people that are most convincing are the people that see these orbs flying around.
The pilots.
Yeah. Well, the reason why they see these things is there's a real phenomenon called ball lightning. It's absolutely real. And it's caused by various weather conditions. And they think that it could even be caused sometimes by the right weather conditions and the shifting of tectonic plates, that somehow or another the friction. Yes. And that these ball lightning, if you've ever seen videos of it, it's phenomenal. It just flies around. They've even had it inside airplanes. Somehow or another, ball lightning has shot down the aisle of an airplane while it was in flight.
I've actually seen it.
Have you really?
I've actually
Where have
seen
you
ball
seen it?
lightning on a flight that was struck by lightning.
Whoa.
It was pink. And it sounded like a giant BB gun hit a tin can. Oh, yeah.
Whoa. You were in a plane that was hit by lightning?
Yes.
Holy shit. That's intense.